How are you? Happy Friday. Grab them if you got them. Windows are open. It is 60 degrees out. I love my Gaia. I love having the air come in and just cleanse everything in this house. It's just, there's nothing like having natural air. Yes, I do have the fan on because I got the air blowing through and coming out that way, but there's just nothing like the elements coming in and cleaning out your house. I love it. I love it. Real quick, my gums are healing. Teeth are too big. Aspen Dental, I have an appointment with. So there we go with that. Hubby and I had the stomach flu. Oh my God. You know, when you have two people and a stomach flu in one bathroom, doesn't make for a good time. I'm going to tell you. That's all I'm going to say about that. Thankfully, hubby is back at work. Um, hubby's back at work, and I'm getting there. I'm getting better. I really am. I want to show you this deck. And before I show you this deck, I want to explain something real quick. If I'm showing you items that I have, you need to understand that, or I hope you understand that a lot of the items I'm showing you, other than that one deck that I just got this year because it called to me, the Shamanic Oracle, I've had a lot of these things for many years. I showed you the Wicca deck that I even forgot I had because it was on top of other decks, and I've had that since 2005, 2006. I mean, my Reiki box is from Savers. A lot of my items, even a lot of my spirit babies, are from Savers. I have to show you Marie though. That is my Marie. And that is her little offerings I have there. And her spirit father, her spirit guard that stays with her. She is my beautiful spirit baby that when I'm doing Reiki healings, energy healings, spirit healings, whatever you request, using her as a conduit. I have had her 10, 11 years. I love my baby. I love her. I just, yeah, I love her. That's why she's close to me. And I've even done Reiki healings for my babies, my fur babies. Axel one day he was throwing up and he was so sick, and I put one of my satchels in his bed, and I loved him up and made sure he had a lot of water. And me and Marie sat here and we made sure that we gave him a good healing. And he's such. I love my little fur babies too. But if you ever ask me for a healing, Marie is the one that does them. She is just amazing. I put my little chakra crystals down on her. I use my chakra pendulum, and we go to work, and that's what we do. But I wanted to make sure people understand. When I show you these things, it's just showing you to not for bragging rights because I'm a broke ass witch. Let me tell you right now, broke ass witch sitting right here. I'm just showing you things that I have collected over the years and maybe give you some inspiration on, oh, I want that deck, or I want that book, or I want to get that book, or whatever tools I'm showing you. That's what I do it for. I certainly don't do it for bragging rights. I've had some of this stuff for so many years that, it's as ancient as me. So, anyways, the next tarot, no, oracle I'm going to show you is the Spirit of Nature Oracle. Now, I got this because for a long time, for many years, I thought that Zeus was my male god to Gaia. That Gaia is my goddess and she is my deity. But I thought Zeus. I'd meditated on it, and I thought Zeus was my god. But it never felt right. Even though Zeus was calling me, it never felt right. And then this one day, I just got this epiphany. I'm like, wait a minute. It's not Zeus, it never was. It was the Green Man. Because the Green Man, in my belief, is that that's the male aspect of Gaia. And you ever get one of those, could have had a V8? It just hit me and it was perfect. And it was so right. It was just like, this is who is meant to be your God aspect. Because it's the God aspect, it's the male aspect of Gaia. And why it took me years to figure that out, I don't know. Maybe she thought the time wasn't right. Maybe she thought I had to figure it out for myself. I don't know. But I said it was Zeus, and for a long time I thought it was, but in my mind and heart, it just still never felt right. So I never really worked with him. But with the Green Man, I'm working all the time. And that's why I got this 5 years ago? A while ago. I got this Spirit of Nature Oracle because it reminds me of the Green Man. And I got it because I said, okay, I have an oracle on Gaia. I want an oracle on him as well. Now it opens like this. It opens this way. So let me get this open here. And that's the book. And let me see if I can, yep, I'll pull it out this way. Here we go. Wait a minute. There we go. It doesn't have, now it has that one on the outside, the little tab, but it doesn't have one on the inside, which I think is a little weird, unless I pulled it or something. But this is the front of the guidebook. This is the back. It has, there's birch, alder, no colored, you know, it's a typical guidebook. It has true love, drift, hazel lore, divinatory meanings. Is that all? Nope, there's something else. The Isle of Apples, apple lore, wassailing. There's so many different, with each tree, there is a different, I mean, they have the divinatory meanings, but then they have the other things, which are, like, with the ivy, it is ivy lore, ivy and the moon, the Pakai, Reveler's Gift, it's different things. Blackthorn. Like I said, they're not colored, but this is the guidebook. It's good quality too. I know for a fact that I got this from Amazon. Sorry, people. This is the front. And the stock is if I compare it to the Greenwich Tarot, this is less quality. It's very thin. Hear it? It's very thin. It doesn't have, how many cards does this have? I haven't worked with this in like maybe 4 months or something like that. There's not that many cards. But I really liked it because, like I said, I saw it on Amazon. I was looking through Amazon because I always do. You know, I have this. If you all are my age and you remember the Sears catalog from, you know, Christmas time and stuff like that, they had the big ass catalog for Christmas and for special holidays. It was the Sears catalog, and everybody couldn't wait to get it. We had now in Massachusetts, in Springfield, we had the Steiger's catalog too. God, Steiger's been gone for years, but yeah, I'm digressing. You're just gonna have to forgive me. But we had the Sears catalog, and everybody, you know, would grab that catalog, and you would go through it page by page by page and go, I want that. Oh, I wish I had that. Oh, that's on my wish list. This is what we did. This is what we did. I'm going to be 58 in May, I'm telling you. For you young people, you don't know what you were missing. Oh my God. I know that the internet has made it so we can do videos and we can watch videos and do things like that. But oh my God, oh my God, you don't know what you're missing when you started pulling out that Sears catalog. Oh my God. And there was another one too. Is it the Cheese Factory? No. Heritage something. There was some other one too. And the Sunday paper. The Sunday newspaper. Thing was huge. It was thick. And the first thing us kids grabbed was the cartoons. It had a cartoon page. And we'd tear and we'd go through it and look at all the cartoons, and they had the coupons. And I know I'm digressing, but boy, there are some memories that just fill your soul. You know what I'm saying? Anyways, let's get back to what I was showing you. But these I got on Amazon because I use Amazon now, like the Sears catalog. I go through and go, oh, I want those. I put them in my wish list. Don't know if I'll ever afford them, but I got them. But anyways, here we go. Sorry, guys. But they're flimsy. They are flimsy. That is something that I can tell you. And this is, they don't have names. They do have names, but boy, they're really dark. This is one. Oh wait, let me show you this too. I know you're all like, God, will she just get through with this? This is plastic too. This is that, you know, I don't even know what kind of plastic you call this. I can tell you just by looking at it, I didn't pay a lot of money for it. Let's just say that. Did not pay a lot of money for it. Because again, I'm a broke ass witch. I don't pay a lot of money for a lot of things. But it is a nice deck. For what it is a nice deck. And if I can go through Amazon, you know how Amazon shows you what you bought? I'll tell you how much I paid for this. It's the trees. And it does have the names. No, does it? No, I don't think it does. I mean, like I said, it called to me because it reminded me of the Green Man and of the trees and of the life that he gives in the forest and in the trees. And that's why I got this deck. But if it to say it's a high quality deck, no. No, it's really not. There's this one. And like I said, I have the Gaia Oracle. I have the Earth Magic one too. I'll have to pull out. There's this one. There's not that many. There's not that many cards in this either. There's this one. Do you hear that noise? That's my little boy snoring. He's been chasing his sisters around the house all day. I have 2 chihuahuas, 1 male, 1 female. I have 2 feline kitties that, a beautiful soul that works with the rescue that I volunteer for. She was putting them up for adoption, and my husband and I said they're coming home with us. Well, you've seen Alice a couple of times. Rosie does come in here, but she's more of a loner. This one's really cool too. Like I said, this is, I mean, for what it is, if you follow the Green Man, if the Green Man is one of the deities that you work with, one of the spirits that you work with, this is an awesome deck for the Green Man. But it's not the highest of quality. It's beautiful. I mean, I love it, but there's that one. There's only a couple more here. That. I like that one now. And there's this. I'm sorry for the glare. It's so beautiful out today. It really is. Now I want to talk about something else too. Let me see. Let me put that there. I'm going to put this, and like I said, it's only got the tab here to put it back into, like that, but it doesn't have the tabs for the cards in the guidebook. I want to show you this. This is another thing. I didn't spend very much money on it at all. I think $3 tops. The true story behind the infamous witch trials of 1962, the Salem witch trials. You read it too? You probably did. I mean, there's no pictures in it. It's just about the story of the witch trials, and it's not very big because it doesn't need to be. Because if you know the story, if you know the history of the Salem witch trials, they didn't just happen here. They happened in England. They happened in the UK. Witches were burnt at the stake. Witches were also hung. Witches were tortured. People that weren't even witches, all you had to do was use a herb to heal someone. Back in that time, back in the 1660s and the 1690s, and you know, all you even if you just used an herb to heal somebody, they accused you of being a witch. If someone wanted your property, if someone thought your property was valuable and they wanted it, all they had to do was accuse you of being a witch. And that was it. They took your property and they executed you. There's a lot to that. Oh my goodness, I can't even imagine being a witch back in that time. And that's where, I mean, of course, I don't live in the woods. I don't have woods near me. Not, well, no, maybe 8 miles from me. But that's where we got a lot of our traditions from, our witchcraft traditions of going to the woods to do our rituals and our spots. Of back in that time, back in this time, the true witches that didn't want to get caught would make their tools out of clay. And this is again why you don't need to spend a lot of money to be a witch. And I really want to emphasize that again. Back in the time of the witch trials, the true witches, the ones that were actual witches, because like I said, a lot of people were being executed for gain, for their properties, because someone didn't like them, because they, used an herb to make someone feel better, whatever it was. You didn't even have to be a witch and they were accusing you, and once they accused you, it was over. I don't know of many, if any, that once they accused you of being a witch, it was over. So the true witches would make their tools out of clay, out of mud, out of, like I said, branches and things like that. And after they did their rituals, after they did their spots, whatever they were doing, they would go in the woods, they would make a fire, and they had these tools that they made. And when that ritual was done, when they were done with their spot, their ritual, whatever they were doing, they threw those magical items into the fire. because if they were caught with them, it would have been over. It would have been over. And so that's another reason why you don't need to, you could make your own tools. If you're into pottery, if you're into woodworking, you could make your own tools. Or again, most powerful tools right here. But why I'm showing you this book too is because, God, I'm 20 minutes in. I never shut up. I don't know. Because I believe, this is my opinion and do with it what you will. I believe that if your calling is a witch, if you are a witch in your soul, if you know that this is who you are, you should know about our history. This is a huge part of our history. What happened back then? What caused these trials? What caused this to happen? There is also, and forgive me for 1 minute, I'm gonna, where's my, let me see here. Give me 1 moment. I am gonna come down here because I saved it. Where did I put it? It is the Malleus Maleficarum from 1486, and this was the rules that they kind of used. I'm going to copy it and I'm going to put it in the down bar. This horrible book is what they used to determine what the punishments were for witches, what they were to do to witches. It's a huge part of our history. It's a horrible part of our history. It's a terrible part of our history. But it's part of our history nevertheless. And it's really something you should read. So I am going to put it in the down bar. Learn about your history of whatever path you're taking. Christianity, they have their Bibles. And if any Christian comes to you and they say, I know the Bible, ask them which one. There are millions of Bibles for millions of different paths, just like we all have our books of shadows for our paths. There's so many different books of shadows. Some that we've created ourselves, some, like I said, the Grimoire for the Green Witch, Silver Ravenwolf's Book of Shadows. There's so many books of shadows. Scott Cunningham has a book of shadows. There's so many different books of shadows that we use as our Bibles, and the Bible is the same way. And I am in no way throwing shade at Christians. I'm not. I have so many in my family, and I respect and love every single one of them. But there is not just one Bible. There's not. When I had a family that lived across the street from me, they were Iranian? Iranian? Yes, they were Iranian. And the father, we were talking one day outside about religions because he saw my Gaia table from the window because my window's huge. I'll do a video about it one day, one of these days. And he gave me the book of Quran. He goes, would you be offended if I gave you this book? And I said, absolutely not. I love learning about religions. And he gave me the book of Quran. It's their belief. And it has nothing to do with terrorism. It has nothing to do with any of that. It's a beautiful religion if you read it and you believe it for what it's meant to be. I mean, you can get people that can take witchcraft and spin it around and make it evil and horrible. But for most of us witches, that's not what we want. That's not who we are. We get our power from nature. We use nature to manifest the things that we want to manifest. for the greater good of all. But just like any religion or any path, you can get some evil people. Look at Jim Jones and David Koresh. They considered themselves Christians, and they were far from it. They Now Jim Jones might have started out that way, but in his mind he turned it evil. And so this is really what I'm saying. Learn your path. It doesn't matter if you're a green witch, a Wiccan, whatever. Learn your path. Learn what learn who died and who suffered so that we can be who we are today. So we don't have to be in the closet. Gerald Gardner and Buckland, they opened up an enormous path for us, an enormous door for us, so we didn't have to be afraid of who we are. Scott Cunningham, so many amazing witches that came out, and I know I'm only mentioning a few, there were so many that came out and opened a door for us to not be afraid to sit here on this computer or to sit out in our homes or outside of our communities or in our communities and say, I'm a witch. That's who I am. I am a witch. People opened those doors for us. They opened those doors. And our history right here, the true witches that died in these trials, they opened that door for us too. And they suffered for it. Back in the 70s, 60s, 70s, if you said you were a witch outside of your community, or in your community rather, if you openly said you were a witch, you could lose your job, your children, your home, if you were in apartments especially. I mean, you could lose so much. And you might not like Gerald Gardner or Raymond Buckland, or, you might not believe in what, their path and how they lead it, or how they led it, I should say, and Scott Cunningham as well. But you have to give respect to these people that opened that door for us to sit here and say, I am a witch. I have no problem with my family telling them I'm a witch. And most of them are Catholic. I don't have a problem. I'm a witch. I'm a pagan. But I bet you if I tried that, if I had claimed myself in the 60s and 70s, would have been a different story. They put people in mental institutions for saying they were a witch way back in the day. So having the power now, having the strength and the ability to sit in our truth and say, I am a witch. Honor the people that came before us. Honor our ancestors that came before us, that gave us the right to do that. And I really believe, I don't care what path of witchcraft you're on, what path of being a witch you are, read about our history. Read about our history. I think it is one of the most important things you can do. And whether you believe it was all bullshit, or whether you believe some of it was true but not all of it, whatever, read about our history, because it is what set us in the start and the path of being able to be where we are now. There are so many amazing, beautiful YouTube channels devoted to being a witch. Back in and you can say, well, yeah, in the 60s and 70s they didn't have YouTube. Okay, whatever. But they couldn't even announce that they were a witch, or they could have lost everything. These people stood up and said, I am sick of it. I am a witch. This is who I am. You take it or leave it, but I am not going to change who I am to make you comfortable. That's what they did. And like I said, whether you respect the path that they're on, that they were on or not, you need to respect the fact, you should respect the fact that they paved the way for us to be here. Silver Ravenwolf, all of them, there's so many of them that paved the way back in the day for us to sit here on this little computer here and say, I am a witch and this is my channel. I am a witch and I am proud. I am a witch and this is what's in my soul. And I'm not changing for you. I'm not changing my words to make you comfortable. I'm not changing who I am to make you accept me. Because I got a whole bunch. I have thousands and thousands of brothers and sisters out there who are just like me. And we're not going away. So that's what I have to say. I love every single one of you. I hope you have a beautiful, magical weekend. I really do. I'm hoping tomorrow I can get an appointment for this damn thing. Man, I never knew how much I really like teeth until you don't have them. But I love you. Blessed be everybody.